I found myself listening to X Factor by Lauryn Hill, and there is a line in the song where she says, she's talking about how crazy the relationship is, and then she says, "Tell me who I have to be to gain some reciprocity." If you don't know what reciprocity is, it's when you're getting something back for what you're giving. And I've observed and experienced in my own life as women, we can morph into who we think other people want us to be, who we think other people need us to be. And we are very good at playing the role, right? And it's not from a heart of manipulation, right? It's not from an evil place. It's from a place where we want to be accepted, we want to be loved, we want to be appreciated, we want to be needed. But that's such a dangerous place to be, because when you base how you show up on someone else's expectation of you, what you are actually doing is diminishing who you actually are. And even though you're showing up genuinely out of a desire to please that person and to be there for that person, whoever it might be, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be work, it could be a friendship, it could be family, right? We show up in so many different ways. But when you base your value, even to yourself, not just your value in the relationship, but your value to yourself, when that is based on you meeting other people's expectations, that is a very dangerous place to be. Something that I've talked about extensively, I think, over the last 2 years. If you have never heard me say this, I'm going to break it down for you quickly. It is the A-list assignment. And the A-list assignment is the precursor, so to speak, to the vision sequence. Now, I created something called the vision sequence, and it's a way for you to plan your life. It's a planning and journaling system. It goes hand in hand. But before we get to that point, this is like a code of conduct so that you can walk through the vision sequence successfully. Appreciate your attributes. 1, recognize yourself, right? Learn who you are, learn what you like, learn your tendencies, learn your weaknesses, learn your strengths, learn it all, and appreciate everything that makes you who you are. And after you appreciate your attributes, appreciate your attributes. And I'm saying it twice because that word has 2 meanings. So you appreciate your attributes, and that is to cherish who you are, right? That is to recognize and cherish the woman that you are. But appreciate also means to improve or increase in value. So not only are you looking at yourself where you are today and appreciating who you are today, but you are also looking at how can I invest in myself so that I'm better tomorrow? How can I invest in my personal growth, in my personal development? And that's essential. That is essential to your satisfaction. A lot of you are frustrated because you refuse to take yourself to the next level. A lot of the times we will sit down and we would expect a knight in shining armor or God himself to open things up and create a new reality for us. But There is a verse in the Bible, it's in Proverbs, and it talks about how a wise woman builds her house, but a foolish one tears it down with her own hands. A wise woman builds her house with her own hands. When you sit and you create a vision for your life, you are building your house. Your life is the house that your soul gets to live in. Your mind, your will, and your emotions. You create this with the woman that you are. And if you don't learn how to see her, other people won't see her. If you depend on other people's view of you, you will never see yourself, and you walk through life begging to be seen, begging to be noticed, begging to be loved, begging to be appreciated because you don't see yourself. So appreciate your attributes. Affirm your value. Know who you are and what you bring to the table. I know we use that phrase a lot, but what do you bring to the table? Who are you? Because I guarantee you, when you start to walk in that knowledge and in ownership of who you are, you start to show up differently in every single aspect of your life. Every single relationship is going to change. When you start showing up in a way that says, I affirm my value, when people start to say things about you that are not aligned with not only who you are, but who you're becoming, it no longer hits the nerve that it used to hit. It no longer makes you pull back and shrink and dim your light because you know who you are. Articulate your dream. Be willing to say, well, okay, that's fine. I appreciate your opinion, but this is what I'm doing. This is where my life is heading. And it doesn't mean that you tell people every single thing that you're planning to do. But in your conversation, don't agree with the naysayers. Don't agree with the people who tell you that you can't lose the weight and that you can't improve your relationship and that you can't get your life back on track. Don't agree with them. Because often what we do is we disclose things to people, they dismiss our dream, and then we agree with them. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I can't do it. No one has the power over your dream but you. And you give your power away when you allow people to speak negatively into your dream and you agree with them. Does this mean we don't seek wise counsel? Absolutely not. We seek wise counsel. You get a mentor, you get a coach, you get a trusted friend who's been through some things and who can advise you. And you get advice from people who are where you want to be. So if there is someone who is handling a certain aspect of their life in the way that you would want to be able to handle it, that's the type of person that you can bring on board, and you can start talking to them about different things, and you can start disclosing different things to them if they are trustworthy. That's part of the reason why I became a visionary confidant, because a lot of women don't have anyone to share their dreams with. A lot of women, unfortunately, can't turn to a friend or a family member and say, well, this is what I want to do, without getting some backlash, without getting some kind of underhanded positivity that isn't really positivity. It's just like, okay, I'm going to humor you, but I don't really think you're going to succeed. We need support, and we need support from other women. So seek that out. That is really important. So we appreciate your attributes, affirm your value, articulate your dreams, act authentically. What does that even mean, act authentically? Be the real you. not the you that somebody else is looking for, not the you that they expect. Be the real you, because it hurts. You know that feeling when you have to walk a certain way, you have to talk a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to respond a certain way. You just feel like you're wearing this suit, you're wearing a mask, you can't be yourself. This could be at work, this could be at church, this could be in a relationship, this could be with your children, right? This could be with your friend group. I don't want you to live a life where you have to be somebody else. Like when you leave the house, you have to be somebody else. You put on a certain face, you put on a certain voice. You cannot be yourself. Authenticity is what is going to lead you into the feeling of fulfillment that you want to have in your life. Because if you have to pretend to get it, then it's not real. You can't hold it. You can't hold the vision if you are pretending to be someone that you are not. So when I talk about vision and I talk about insight and I talk about all these things, it's so that you get to a place of authenticity, that when you start setting goals and you start making plans, you're making goals and plans that you actually want and that you're actually going to execute, that means something to you. Goals that are about legacy and making a difference in the lives of others, because that's what you want. It's not enough for you to just check some boxes off and that's it. You want to make an impact. You want to make a difference. You want to see that your presence in the world means something, not only to the people around you, but everyone that's going to encounter you. You want to change lives. We sometimes, like I was saying earlier, we kind of just either just hope for the knight in shining armor, hope for God to open up the heavens and pour out a blessing so big that we don't have room to receive it. And we quote scripture and we say all these nice things, but there's work for us to do. There's practical work for us to do, and there is soul work for us to do. And God can't bless who you're pretending to be. So it's about getting real with yourself, like getting real with yourself and asking yourself, questioning your goals. Why do I want this? Question every goal. Because, and I posted about this before, if it's coming from a place of fear or a place of rejection, right? Or a place of hurt in any way, or a place of disappointment, those things can be catalysts for change. Those things, those experiences can make you want to change things. Like, I don't want to be in that financial position ever again, because this is how it made me feel. I don't want to be this weight ever again. I want to be able to play with my children. I want to have a long life, right? I don't want to live in this type of home anymore. I want to have a beautiful home where my friends and family can come visit and where I can feel safe, right? Whatever those dreams are, they can't be dreams that are based in, I need to lose this weight so I can get back at this man or this woman who called me fat, who made me feel uncomfortable. That could be the catalyst for the change. I don't want to live in this neighborhood anymore because I don't want to think about getting robbed, and I don't want to think about all these things. I'm trying to move up in my life, I'm trying to buy nice things, I'm trying to live a nice life, but I feel like people are watching me and I don't feel comfortable in this neighborhood anymore. I want to move up at work. I want to make more money. Why do you want to make more money? Is it coming from a place of not having enough as a child? As a child, it just felt like I never had enough, and I don't want my children to ever feel like that. So I'm just going to work my fingers to the bone so I have enough money to give them everything they want. But are you giving them everything that they need? Are you giving them all of you? Right? So act authentically. And access abundant life. What is abundant life? When we think about abundance, so often we think about it in the positive, and we should. But abundance is fullness, and it is not only the fullness of the positive, but it's also the fullness of the negative. Are you a woman who can walk through the negative times? Are you a woman who can walk through the chaos? Are you a woman who can walk through the drama and still come out shining on the other side? That is abundance. That is abundance. So when you grab your planner and we sit down for a session, or you come on here and you listen to what I'm saying and I talk about, journal around this idea and why is it that you do this, or why is it that you do that, and I ask you these questions. It's so you start to get insightful and you start to recognize who you are, what you think, what you want, right? What is your vision? What is your vision for your life? Do you know? Or are you riding the coattails of someone else's vision? Your parents' vision, society's vision, a loved one's vision, your children's vision, your boss's vision. Are you showing up as you're expected to, or are you showing up as you? And being you doesn't mean that you get rid of all these other things and all these other people. No woman is an island. We were created to help. We were created to contribute in some way, shape, or form. But it has to come from a place of authenticity. If it doesn't come from a place of authenticity, you're not going to be able to sustain it. And that's why so many women are burning out. That's why so many women feel like, I don't have anything left to give. I don't have any more work to give. I don't have any more love to give. I don't have anything to give. And then the self-care, there is so much soft life and self-care, I almost want to say propaganda out there, because we have to be careful about where that's coming from. Because a lot of women are turning to self-care as a comfort. They're turning to the manicures and the pedicures and doing their hair and taking care of their skin as a comfort, because there are other aspects of their character that they're not dealing with. And I'm not saying that's you, but I'm saying we need to question why we're doing these things. Is it just because you enjoy it? Is it just because, oh, you like having your nails done? Or is it that when you have your nails done, it makes you feel like you've leveled up? And are you compensating physically for things that you should be taking care of spiritually, emotionally, mentally? These things are important too. So I want to leave you with those thoughts. I hope that this helps. I hope that it provides a framework for some discussions that you can have with friends, with loved ones, with yourself. I hope it gives you some points that you can pray about. Maybe you need to explore this more. But I hope it helps. Blessings on your journey. I'll talk to you soon.